Go ask her.
So we're outside the wrongful or deadly conduct trial of Daniel Sanchez. We got all the DA and the defense's lawyers all hobnobbing together, you know, the usual. We got a lot of notes today because I finally got in there. I missed Daniel Sanchez entirely leaving the court. That's fine. There's plenty of pictures of him. But yeah, the court's currently at recess. The jury's doing deliberation. I don't imagine they'll be back. People are still reserving all the seats in the world, but I was able to get in there. Okay. And yeah. So Carl Kreitcha, though, we're still not sure what's going on. I'm going to ask some people, some other peers about what's going on. Carl Kreitcha is still set for court today at 9:15. Go ahead. Y'all go ahead. But I'm pretty sure they didn't do it in Judge Blasey's court. So there's some rumors still in the news. I was sitting next to a Fox News reporter, but she seemed pretty clueless about what's going on. Most of these reporters are pretty clueless. They know a few things, but they don't really understand what it all means because most of them are new. They're just new. Anyways, we'll let you know what happens. Totally let you know what happens when we find out. You'll probably hear it through the other news. Where are we going? How are we going down? Just like the justice system going down. So we got a lot of notes today, y'all. A lot of notes because I was able to get into court. So I've got pages and pages of notes on the closing argument statements from both sides of this deadly conduct jury trial. So 460th District Court and the other district court just says district court. Just says district court, so it's just an empty room. They can use these courts that hold like 50 people, and then there wouldn't be that problem. But yeah, I just heard the lawyers in the elevator saying that, you know, they shouldn't charge these cops. The cops are having a bad day. They're fucking murdering people with the AR-15. Bam, 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 5 shots. And then these lawyers want to defend their right to kill people and say, hey, well, you should just take their license so they can't be a cop anymore. No, that's, you know, basically these lawyers should have equal representation under the law. If murder is murder, murder is murder. It shouldn't be deadly conduct either. If you can't kill a cop, they can't kill you. It's just reciprocity. It's the equality under the law. And so they're eroding the law. And a lot of the terms that they say like just obeying orders, the policy and practice, like all the fear for my life, they've changed those terms. They've changed all those terms. They have changed them. This place is disgusting. Well, the DA and them are done. Everything's up to the jury now. And yeah, it's a mess. I don't know how. It's disgusting to watch the truth be maligned by defense attorneys working for cops. It's just disgusting. And it's disgusting to see these lawyers say, oh, you shouldn't charge these cops, poor cop, they're just having a bad day. That's just disgusting too. These lawyers and the news and the DA are disgusting. Disgustamundo. But let's talk about him for a little while. I was hoping to get some more video for you guys of the defendant, but it didn't happen. So I guess I can go up here. I'm gonna read some of my notes to you. I don't think I can read them all to you, but I'm gonna read some of my notes outside the DA's office. I mean, the DA actually did a decent job, so I'll commend them. They did a decent job today. But in the end of the day, what does it mean? What does it mean, y'all? what does it do at the end of the day if there's no justice and they just do their job, they hobnob with the defense attorneys and laugh it up? I mean, is that justice? Is that what's supposed to be what justice looks like? Just a hobnob with the other attorneys and laugh it up? Is that what it's supposed to look like? So, I don't know. I think I'm gonna sit here. I think it's my friend that doesn't like me filming. Good. Oh. Alrighty. Let's see here. Boy, do we have a lot of notes for you guys. I don't know if I can cover it all. I'll try. Let's see. There's my notebook. These are my notes. So, where are we at today? Today's the 14th. Let's skip ahead. Alright. I got here like 8:25. I was in court. Started at 9:15. That's the only way I could get a seat. And it was really touch and go. They didn't let the press come in hardly at all. One of the Fox News had a recording device out, and they weren't recording that day, but today they weren't the official recorder by the judge. Apparently it was another agency like KXAN, but the Fox News reporters felt okay to put a recording device out in the open for people to record audio. I find that interesting. I don't know how that works. But if I'd have done that, they'd have been mad at me. That's all I know. Deadly conduct, murder trial. Daniel Sanchez and his attorneys were in the court. Let's see. A lot of talking and energy and people talking about personal things from outside this case. Like, just people don't take these murder cases seriously because it's not their family member. It's not them. I was sitting next to a man from the DA's office. Turns out there's a man and a woman that were there from the DA's office taking up space from the press, and they left when the family came in, the victim. The family came in at 8:38. 8:50, Judge Sage enters, and we all rise. She had a sidebar with the attorneys and she left. Austin Sanders from the Austin American Statesman poked his head in the door at 9:10, 9:11. Judge returns to the jury with the jury charge and 10 short. I don't know. Oh, then we took a short break. Then I wrote, okay, maybe that not too stable there. Is that better, y'all? Dang it, y'all are not even stable. Okay. Then I wrote "fuck all murdering shitbag cops" a few times just as a meditation while I killed time. Get my head in the right space because there's going to be a lot of bullshit that the defense attorneys put out to try to dissuade justice, prevent justice. So the DA said they're going to take an hour for their closing arguments and statements, and the defense said they'd take half an hour. To the judge, the jury came in with somber looks. They're not on. I don't know if they're on board with justice. Just look at somber looks, like they were about to do something that people aren't going to be happy with. Officer Sanchez was looking down, kind of sleepy looking. He was sitting at his bench there, at the table. Yeah, I know. I wish you were off. So they talked about beyond a reasonable doubt if the action may be justified. The state has to. This is all from the judge. The state has to prove that the officers don't have to retreat. People don't have to retreat. This is under the deadly conduct statute. Immediately necessary and is reasonable. Very complicated wording and allows it's very complicated wording that she was reading, and it allows the cop to say later he saw a threat and acted, do falsehoods and lies, and so there's just too much easy reading, too much complicated reading that's easy to put a lie in. It kind of covers for the cops. There's a fine for deadly conduct. You have to choose guilty or not guilty. Force was immediately necessary. It's part of the it's part of the elements of the statute, and it has to be reasonable. There's a self-defense clause. There's a third-person protection exception. Those are pretty much the same, just like dealing with different individuals, either yourself or third parties. 1, not immediately necessary. 2, reasonable. And 3, I don't know. So it's got to be beyond a reasonable doubt, or barred is what I called it. What is so different? Why is it so different for citizens and easy to dissuade for cops? The burden of proof is on the state. On all criminal cases, you're innocent until proven guilty. Careful deliberation. Sanchez did not testify. He refused to testify. So Officer Sanchez refused to testify. The judge was instructing the jury not to take that as, leaning towards innocent or guilt, even though if he was so innocent, why didn't he testify? If he had all this information to say so it's just everyone saying that he might have perceived this. You didn't really get his perception, so he was able to let the lawyers lie for him and cover for him, which is what they're for, apparently. Why is it... Number 8, you are the sole determiners of facts, guilt or innocence alone. You need to choose a presiding juror, lead juror. At 9:34 a.m. this morning, Mr. Drummond was there for the DA. He said 5 shots.
What? Yeah. I guess that is getting away from everything, huh?
Yeah.
Put yourself as far away from that as possible.
Rajang Singh, which Rajang Singh was not in the commission of a murder. He was shot 5 times. The officer already made up his mind when he shot Rajang that he was going to shoot him no matter what. Each shot can be treated as an independent criminal offense. So each of the 5 shots, and there's no need to argue on the shot to find him guilty. You can, it takes 0.3 seconds to where's that thing go? It takes 0.3 seconds to decide on an action, to take an action. Take negative 0.04 seconds. So that's less than 4 seconds, negative 4 hundredths of a second before Daniel Sanchez gave a command to drop the gun. That's for the first shot. 3 shots, then 1.2 seconds pause, and the rifle dropped, and then 4 and 5 fired with AR-15 by the police officer Daniel Sanchez. Kevin Hall, which is a local neighbor, called 911, and he testified. I didn't see that testimony because I wasn't in the court. Definitely, defense is trying to say that Daniel Sanchez didn't see the gun drop. So that's part of their testimony, is that he kept firing because he didn't see the gun drop, even though he had his eyes only on him. There was a lot of testimony about that. I think there was also, so it seems like they were talking about that tunnel vision thing, which we've seen in the Christopher Taylor murder trial. So, what's this guy? Kevin Hall says, "Oh no, we were fine." When asked if they were in danger, he said, "Oh no, the cops and us were fine." So the only person who was in danger was Daniel Sanchez from the cops. Reasonable belief. There's a lot of notes here. Ordering and oh, I can't even read that shit. Ordering and prudent person. Ordinary and prudent person is the reasonableness. Mr. Hall was the ordinary prudent person, according to the DA. He said that he and the officers were fine, not in danger. Apparent danger what is apparent dangers? Provided that he acted upon a reasonable apprehension of danger. So it can't be unreasonable. Officer Woodward, the trainer, came in and said that Rajan was not using or intending to use deadly force at shot number 1, but he tried to lie on the stand. There's also mentioned Jonathan Slayton here, making it bigger than it was, ambush and swatting an active shooter. And he said they expect the officers to engage the suspect, and that means to kill him. But they don't like to say kill because that's what they're actually meaning. That's what I've been telling you, that all this stuff, this deadly conduct stuff, is they're just coming up with reasons to kill people and excuses. They're trying to map it out. Who would you rather be? Would you rather be the cop or would you rather be Rajan? And the witness, I think Jonathan Slayton, said it could go either way because he was very disingenuous. They're just covering for cops. In Austin, they said it's an active shooter scenario. The laws and rules don't count. In an active shooter scenario, the laws and rules don't count, but they do count. Not enough to justify deadly force was there. The cops were thinking it was real. It was going to be a shootout. They went on the radio. They were excited. They were surprised when he was still when Rajan was still moving. They said after they shot him, they're still surprised he's still moving, and so they keep shooting him. The training and departmental policies say he can do this, so it must be reasonable, is what they're arguing. What the defense team is arguing, the witnesses. Training. So what training is what you do. Mark Solomon came in from APD talking about the policies and the general orders. Just following orders. Just following. Instead, they know they can't say just following orders because they'd be laughed out of the courtroom because that's ridiculous to violate the law just because someone tells you to. So they say that they're just following policy and training, which is just another way of saying we're following our orders. We're all responsible for our own conduct, especially when our authority and actions can take people's lives. So cops need to be held to a standard. They didn't say a higher standard. I noticed that the DA doesn't want the police to be held to the standard they should be at. They're just saying, hey, you gotta be held to a standard. They said, here's a quote, he was just following orders. So he gave an analogy. If the Eagle Scouts supplement safety of the public by giving the Eagle Scouts a rifle, train them to do things short of the law, then they get into court and they shoot somebody, and then they get into court and they say we're just following. Example. All right. So APD is training less than the law. Their policy is less than the law. That means they have broken the law. So just because they don't want to follow the law and train and stuff, it doesn't give them an excuse. The GO, the general orders, are their orders. That's their policy of APD. And their deadly force policy says that unlawful deadly force is not, the law for unlawful deadly force is not in their policy. So deadly conduct is not in policy. The policy violates the law, and try to use that as a reasonableness, because that's what they're using, their policy and training. Officer Woodward, which is a defense witness, said that Daniel Sanchez used the wrong command. He shouldn't have said to drop the gun. Defense witness Slayton did not know or care about the law, and Mr. Travis Joyner, the training. He came in and his shoes were blue. They were blue leather to show support of the police and showed his bias, according to the DA. Jeff Woodward admitted that Daniel Sanchez broke the law, one of the witnesses, and the policy and training is shoot people until they fall down. So this was a direct quote from Jeff Woodward, that the APD policy is to shoot people until they fall down, even if they're not a threat, just to shoot them until they fall down. They made mention of live weapons in the past. So the weapon's alive, so you have to keep killing the person. But these weapons aren't alive. They don't understand how weapons work. Because if it's on the ground, it's not a threat. But they're trying to say it's still a threat, because they're always threatened. So they kill. That's why they kill, because they're always trained to say that stuff. And even if they say it, that doesn't mean it actually was what they were thinking or the truth. They just say things. Then the DA gets right in front of Daniel Sanchez. And the DA gets right in front of Daniel Sanchez. Well, not the DA, but like one of the DA's lawyers. And points at Daniel Sanchez right in front of his desk where he's sitting in the court and says, he shot Rajan Singh. He said it multiple times while pointing at him. That was pretty epic. I like that. But like in general, they were pretty soft, I feel like. Woodward, Woodward was there. Police aren't responsible. Oh, I'm having a hard time reading this. Yeah, they don't train to follow the law, but the same organization makes everyone else follow the law. So he says the police aren't trained to follow the law, but the police are the ones that make everybody else follow the law. So it's kind of like hypocritical. It's kind of what do you call it? Ironic. Just call city council and ask, and so they tell us that we just need to call city council and ask for more training, which isn't going to fix anything, and that's not how the law should work. The law should be accountability. That's how it should get fixed. All equal. We should be all equal under the law in court, in a court of law. The cops shouldn't have special license to kill people. I think I'm gonna sit a little further out, y'all. The mosquitoes are bad over here. Hold on, y'all. Hope y'all are getting all this. It doesn't look muted, so I think you're getting all this. The security's still looking at me. That's the one that kicked me out one day. Called a bunch of cops to come get me for filming them. Ridiculous. Where are we at? Where I gotta find my place again. Mr. Drummond was in there for the DA. I think Dexter did talk some. Dexter Guilford with the DA's office. All right, where are we at? In the future, they will continue and say they are doing this with your permission if you don't find this officer guilty. Another cop, body-worn camera said, we're saying you did good work. So that there was another body-worn camera from a cop that they looked at the video where the cop told Daniel Sanchez, you did good work while they were standing over the body of Rajan Singh, his lifeless body, who was bleeding out. So Robin Henderson, which is the chief of staff, she was a interim chief of police here. She backed and said she supports the officer Sanchez. So she supports officers who shoot. So let's say something about Robin Henderson. She supported every shooting. So is Chief Lisa Davis. They never find any fault with their officers because it's a cult. It's not It's not people operating under the law. It's a freaking cult of personality where they want to they want to kill people and get away with it, and they don't want any accountability or transparency. They don't like being sent to court. Even the lawyers are saying they don't like people going to court that are cops because they shouldn't have to go. It shouldn't be in front of a jury. Poor cops. Woodward says, we're going to keep teaching officers to do this. So they're going to keep teaching officers to kill. And Slayton said I would have told him to engage the suspect, which means kill. And so Officer Woodward said, this is a model for how you do it. It's a good shoot, basically is what he said. He's basically saying it's a good shoot. Judge Sage is smiling. Look at it, the jury, DA at this point. The state of Texas versus Officer Daniel Sanchez. How can they let this happen? Today you are the they. He tells the jury. When you ask how can they let this happen, it's like today you're the jury. Basically, you're as powerful with your jury decision, through case law, as the legislature is when they pass laws. So you're in an important place. The way it's read is homeowners, business owners, the officer will. The officer with a gun. Officer, if you see someone with a gun to their side, you'll command them to drop it, then engage the subject, which means he'll kill you. If you have a gun, if you follow your Second Amendment rules, the officers are going to kill you. It's in the training. It's what I've been telling you. So that's Dexter Guilford and them just reverberated that. So there's shots 1 through 3 that happened right when he said drop the gun, and there was a short pause, like a second or two. Like 1.2 seconds, I think it was. And then shots 4 and 5 out of the AR-15, and they're loud. They shot the crap out of Rajan Singh. So the pause was so he could reacquire the target. So they're saying that the defense is saying that he didn't see the gun drop, but he was watching, didn't know he shot the target. They're actually saying that he didn't even know if he shot Rajan Singh. He didn't know if he shot his target. And they're calling dead people, they murder targets. That's also insulting. Do one thing, apply the law, apply it to each shot. Rajan Singh wasn't committing any crimes of murder, so there's no reason to shoot him. 10:15 this morning, we took a break. The cop's attorney is a blue cleat cup, showing his support for the thin blue line, and red. He had his red throat spray on the table because he has a cough. He says he got sick from stress. And he was chumming up with the DA at their table. At 10:35, Judge Sage is back in court. Fox 7 is using an audio recorder that they placed up on the wall between the court and the gallery. Defense closure argument. Now we're at the defense closure argument. He bitches about his sore throat. I forget his name. He's a white bald dude with a big red head. He works a lot of cases for the cops. He predicts a lot of bad cops. He's dirty. Dirty. Don't let my cops go against Officer Sanchez, he says. Okay, whatever. Officer Sanchez, he thanks Officer Sanchez for, he says Officer Sanchez thanks the jury for listening and witnessing and doing their job. And then he says Moon Singh family is also stressed. Sanchez family is stressed. It's an indictment of APD's policy and training, and he doesn't believe it should be an indictment of APD's policy and training. It should just be this one issue. But like, yet they blame their policy and training. Like, he basically is two-faced. Drummond, why makes assumptions on what people had heard or said, or saw. They're expert. I can't read that. He was in, so he says that Rajan Singh was in California, came home, broke up with his girlfriend, lives next door to her in her condo. She lives in a condo next door. He turns his camera, his Ring camera, or whatever camera was on his, I guess it was a Ring camera, but it was like directional, to the other side of the duplex all day long. You see his movements change. He gets high on cocaine and gets obliterated with alcohol, gets his gun and acts like a Call of Duty game. This is what the defense attorney's saying. This is the kind of stuff they do. They always like go after the victim, marginalize the victim. He talked to his friend, or to the friend across the street. Hold on, I'm moving again. The sun is on me, y'all. The sun is real. The sun is real in Texas. Ooh. Okay. Back to where we were. I see the DA's security's not going to come harass me today. That's good. There comes the robots. Here's the robot right there. I do want to say that as things progress, the AI and the robots will be taking over this, and you're going to have less and less rights. You're going to be more and more hunted, and you're not going to argue with the robot. The robot's not going to be held accountable for its programming. So this stuff is going to translate into technology very soon. So that's why that should light a fire on everybody to make action, because we've got to make our freedoms stick before it's too late. He talked to, so they're saying Rajan talked to Kevin Hart and I think another person, a friend, cleared his house, and he shot in the front door of his own house, and so that's an active shooter situation. Ms. Bing and Mr. Hall are other witnesses. So Miss Bing is one of the neighbors. Mr. Hall is the guy that called in. Kevin Hall. I think I said Hart. Hall. A police officer has to make split-second decisions that impact people seriously. Rajan Singh made the situation himself, according to the defense. So Rajan Singh made the cop shoot him, is what he's saying. Ms. Bing comes out to talk to Rajan, and she tells him to call 911 when he tells her that he has an intruder, and he says, "I have my big fucking gun," is what he says to her. She does not recognize him that way, she said. He didn't look like she didn't recognize him because he's not normally that way. And she tells her husband, and he tells her to get on the ground when she said he has a big gun. Chuck Joyner, one of the trainers, I believe, one of the witnesses, said what he did, what he didn't do, and his experiences. Possible Officer Sanchez didn't see Mr. Moon Singh drop the rifle. That's the big part of their thing, is that like he was still threatening the cops, but he never threatened any cops, never even pointed the gun at any cops, but they killed him anyway. Basically, they didn't shoot him in the back, but they shot him in the side and kind of towards the back, in the hand, shot his rifle. They say this witness didn't watch the body one. So he's saying that the witnesses for the defense, for the prosecution, didn't even look at the body camera videos, and because it doesn't fit in their narrative. This guy was ex-FBI, and his real Texas experience was he was a reserve officer. He trained a 20-man police department and spent 2 years on patrol only 1 day a week, like a ride-along. So he's criticized that state's witness. Jamie Borden, his blue shoes. So the attorney, he said, so I have a thin blue line band around my wrist, and it said I support all police officers, not support for all law enforcement, not an individual officer, as individual officers make mistakes. So it's lines of bullshit. They support all the cops no matter what they do, and they don't care if they make mistakes. They cover for that. That's what they're paid to do. So Dexter Guilford with the DA's office brought up an objection, but I didn't really understand the objection. Anyways, no one wants a bad cop gone more than a good cop, is what the defense said. That's their quote. No one wants a bad cop gone worse than a good cop. Really? Really? Come on, light us some more. That's like saying no cop wants to shoot and kill somebody when they go to work, yet they train most of their time how to shoot and kill people. And they actually go online and ask their most important question that they have is, how do I kill somebody and make it a good shoot? That's what we know. That's what we know. They're looking for a good shoot that they can get away with. It doesn't have to be necessary. It just has to be no liability, no responsibility, no accountability. He put that's the on-screen quote he put up on defense. He put up on the screen by the defense, said no one wants a bad cop gone more than a good cop, or worse than a good cop. Yeah. Said they found one shell casing, and the audio showed that a third shot was shot by Rajan Moon Singh, but it still wasn't towards any cops, so it's ridiculous. He said that the DA spent $20,000 of taxpayer money for a digital recreation. Its first version had to get resubmitted due to errors, and the second version that they submitted has Rajan Moon Singh at 5'9", but his Dallas, I don't know what this is, Dallas Fort Worth, or Dallas driver's license says 6'3", and he says there's a big difference in the evidence that they were given. He brought up a training academy instructor Travis Joyner again. They brought up Jonathan Slayton and Jeff Woodward. These are their people. Since the training does not oh shit, I can't even read that. Oh, does not match his beliefs. I don't know. Defendant claims of DA putting words into the witnesses' mouths. They told you that Daniel Sanchez did exactly what they expected of their cops, to shoot and kill. They didn't say that in so many words, but they said it in so many words. That Rajan Moon Singh walked out in an aggressive way with his rifle, even though he had it in low ready, and the rifle was pointing toward the ground. They said the officers are trained to close the gap. Chief Robin Henderson is a well-respected chief. He said that I disagree. She is a part of the problem. She's a long-standing person who has trained these cops to kill people, and she's as corrupt as it. She's a black female cop that smiles, but I've caught her lying to me about the Constitution. You can check my live streams like about a month ago. So public statement by RH, that was a witness. Moon Singh was a danger to the neighbors in the community. Why? Because it's true. What they're saying. That's what they're saying here. Forgot my E. I'm gonna edit my E here. True has the E. Last time I checked. Defense witness Mark Sawa, S-A-W-A, agreed that these aren't yes or no questions when he was being questioned by the DA and they were trying to impeach him a little bit. Totality of circumstances. He went there day and at night, did measurements, and gave analysis of what optics was on the AR-15 that Daniel Sanchez had. He watched all the videos. I don't know, something else. Took measurements and visited the scene, unlike the DA's witnesses, according to the defense attorney. So he's saying that the defense's witnesses they weren't complete. They had no clue what they were doing. All right. 1/2 second to raise the weapon and shoot is what they're saying. It takes 1/2 seconds to raise the weapon and shoot. So the threat was still there. You don't have to wait until you're shot to shoot. Regime means being highly intoxicated is what they're saying. Body-worn camera shows how light can affect you. Diaz didn't know. Oh, Daniel Sanchez didn't know that he had hit Rajan Singh with any shot, even though that's obviously a lie because it was targeted on. Anyway, Officer Daniel Sanchez at 11:03. What did he know? What did he not know? Or what didn't he know? And what did he observe? What did he do? Officer didn't know he was shooting in his that Rajan was shooting in his own home, or that there were that he was turning his lights on and off in his house, so he didn't know he was a homeowner. He was trained to go out and find the threat. That means officers are trained to go find the danger. Average citizen does not have to do this. He didn't know if he was a homeowner or if he was even going to kill his family inside the house, which he didn't have. These are the what ifs that they add in. They add all these what ifs. What ifs aren't really the law. Sorry. He observed gunshots. A man walk up with a gun, low ready or high ready, is aggressive walking up. Daniel Sanchez does not have to wait. Why? If you wait, you die. That's another quote. If you wait, you die. So the cops are saying if they don't kill you, they'll be killed. And that's pretty common for what they believe. Yet most people that they're shot by police aren't posing any threat to the police. Your brain does not have time to react. Training is important for muscle memory. Levels of proof. Can't read that. Oh, he did a graphic of levels of proof on the screen with like steps and stairs for each thing. Beginning with like the bottom, it was like scintilla, and then it goes on and on. Rule number 3: reasonable doubt comes from evidence measured from evidence, questions, and inconsistencies. These are complicated cases. We're still dealing with the defense's closing statements, protecting the officers. Hold on. Just people running stop signs. There's a whole group of them just running a stop sign here. They don't know that you can get shot for anything. You can get shot for anything in Austin. Anyways, where were we? No. If you wait, you die. Let's see. Levels of proof. Rule number 3. Reasonable doubt comes from evidence. Measured questions and inconsistencies, complicated cases. Lawyers complicate things. This case isn't as complicated as you think. It's self-defense. To prevent Rajan Moonsingh, to prevent Rajan Moonsing's imminent commission of murder, or that defendant's belief was not reasonable. One of the two. And also defense of a third person. Same requirements. Reasonable belief, right to defend themselves from imminent danger. Apparently Rajan and the officer both had AR-15s. So the AK-47, I don't know where I got that. So he says you got to go by the officer's experience. You do not go by frame, what happens in seconds. In closing, he said, what would you want an officer to do? Cops walk up and be murdered in half a second? What if Officer Sanchez wasn't there? Moonsingh was shooting a weapon. He was intoxicated. Officer Daniel Sanchez is not guilty. I don't know. Oh, it said Officer Sanchez is not guilty in red letters on the board. Oh, so we're dealing with Texas Penal Code 22.01. Deadly conduct. So, danger of imminent murder. Dexter Guilford speaking for the DA. This is 11:16 p.m. When he first saw videos 3 years ago, when the public saw them, it was then and still is not a justified shooting. It's a crime. That's what he said. You know, policy, training, and the law. That you jurors, he's talking to the jury. Both these lawyers are talking to the jury to convince them. You know, policy, training, and the law more than most people walking around do. He said he used deadly force when there was no commission of murder, imminent danger of murder. So it's just going by the code and exceptions to the crime. So he's been a prosecutor for 4 years on these types of cases, more than most lawyers. The city, county has a life history in pictures, stories, and stories. The story here is waiting on people to give their stamp on it. Just talking to the jury. It says, he talked about the demarcation for people of color at I-835. Where whites were on one side of the freeway and minorities were on the other. He said blacks, but it was more than blacks. It was other minorities, like Mexican Americans. And in 1991, there was a yogurt shop murder. That's part of our story. 1997, the scientists found a little salamander in Barton Springs. And that's all the life of a story. In this case, this is the life of a city. You all make law, no less than the legislature. People will be looking at this decision. Truth is not an offense, and so bend your back and pay attention to it. You all know what happens here. What happened here? Often in court cases, you get a disconnect from the truth. You get a disconnect from the truth because of the attorneys speaking and all the witnesses. Things get mixed up in the testimonies. So the jury took an oath, just like everybody else that's on that side of the bar took an oath. to have a true verdict according to the law, to serve justice. This story is ridiculous. Prepared to launch an attack. They're saying Rajan Munsingh was ambushing the officer, prepared to launch an attack. It is shameful and misleading for the defense counsel to say he was walking towards the officer. He didn't take proper, Daniel Sanchez, he didn't take proper care, so he didn't think he was being targeted. These are all proper cover. Proper cover. These are the facts. They are what they are. This is a playbook of how to kill people. Number one, first thing you do on your playbook is you marginalize your victim. Do toxicology reports and to doubt reasonable beliefs. What part of the law is that? What part of the law is it says if you're on drugs or alcohol that cops have to kill you? Number two, demystify the work of policing. Dexter Guilford's dad's a cop. His nephew's in Fort Worth Police Academy. He's becoming a cop. He's got cops in his neighborhood, so it's not anti-cop. He says the truth verdict. The profession does split-second decisions. They have a monopoly on using the word imminent. They act like they have a monopoly on the use of the word imminent. That's a big part of the case. Means the next thing that's going to happen. Imminent means the next thing that's going to happen. Charlie Parker. It's like trying to follow Charlie Parker. You can learn the notes, transcribe the notes, but you won't really totally understand everything. Defense says I didn't really understand his analogy with Charlie Parker. Defense, they don't even translate the notes. If they oh crap, it's getting worse. All right. Trust what the police and government tell you. That's an insult to civilians like the jury in this case. Not your fault. DA I don't know. The lawyers and the DA that have gotten us to this point are the reason. This is what the DA said, that the lawyers and DAs and the court system that got us to this point, it's not the jurors' fault that we got to this point where officers are murdering, killing people by the numbers. He said they should have stopped this from happening. This is what I've been saying. This is a criticism that I've been saying. It's not happening in a vacuum. These cases are linked. All these murder trials are linked, and they went from saying they're fear for their life to saying it's a policy and training. I'm just doing my job. I engaged the target. I eliminated the target. I kill. It's as hard as it is living in 1775, and you criticize a member of the government, and the judge is telling the jury that only follow their truth for libel against the crown. It's as hard as enforcing unjust laws on runaway slaves. It's this decision is hard, and the same law and rule of deadly conduct, whether you're a cop or a citizen, should apply. At this point, I feel like Dexter's showboating. He's not really being real ethical. He's just doing his ego show for the crowd. I don't feel like he's all in it. At 11:40, the judge tells Dexter he's at his 40-minute mark for his hour's time, like he had requested earlier. And Dexter says he learned his nephew just received his firearm from the academy in Fort Worth Police Department, and he's told him if he uses it, he will be in the process in front of a jury as it should be. And then at 11:41 or so, we went to a recess, and the jury was asked to go deliberate, which means to discuss and look at evidence and send letters to the court saying what evidence they need to see, testimony, transcripts, all the stuff they need to see to make the decision. And I don't think that they'll be back today. Don't think, but I might just go back up there for a sec. Oh, that I've covered this. So, yeah. Where we are. I know the notes aren't very clear because actually when I write fast, I don't write very well. I don't write very well at all as it is. What is this thing that fell down here? Personal cell spot down here is fallen down. I don't think they know it's down there. It's personal cell spot, it says. Okay. I don't know what that means. Actually, I've got other stuff to do. I don't think that the jury will be back today. I think that a jury deliberation should take a day or two, and they're going to be off for the weekend thinking about it, but not deliberating. They'll be off all weekend. They'll come back. You know, as a jury, you only make like, I don't know, $20 a day or less. So it's kind of a public service. Anyhow. So that's where we're at. It's the end of the jury trial. Carl Kreitzer talked to Austin Sanders with the American Statesman, and he still contends that their statement that Carl Kreitzer's deadly conduct case was dismissed, and but they're also saying it's not dismissed. It's just they're just not admitting it's a rumor. They got ahead of it. It hasn't been finalized. He admitted it hasn't been finalized. So yeah. Any questions? That was a lot. It's a lot to take in, to watch this much injustice and the way that they create FUD and complicate facts. And I lost a gig today, special assignment, because I was in court and couldn't respond to it fast enough from the media. It would have paid my bills. But yeah, it's going down the courthouse today. I don't know what to say, y'all. I mean, what are we supposed to do? If cops, they're basically telling us they're going to come kill us. They're trained to kill you. You can have a Second Amendment here in in Texas, but the cops are just going to kill you, especially if you're of color. I talked to Kathy from the Texas Texas Civil Rights Project, and she said that white people are just as at risk of being killed for having a gun in Austin or in Texas as minorities. How white of her to say that? It's not true. It is not true. What we've seen is, just like with Rajan Singh, if you have a gun, which you have a right to have a gun, but the cops feel that they have a right to kill you for your rights. And that's a violation, that's a deprivation of rights. That's the lawsuit. And so I'm hoping that Rajan Singh's family sues no matter what happens here, and gets asked for like $100 million. Like, we need to like bust the police open, because they are just getting away with it. They are just getting away with it all the time. And you know, it's Friday. I'm out here covering this for you guys. It's not a normal court date. Normally most people have their court on other dates, but you know, part of the jail, part of the court. The part of the jail's on the right, I believe. This is the jail too on the left, and then in the middle is the court. It's really a sick system. Really sick. There's so much injustice. So little time. All the cops, no justice. So of the $1.2 billion in the city's budget, which isn't the general fund. The general fund is $6.4 billion, but that That includes the Austin Energy. That's the electric company. Austin Water. They have monopoly on water and electric. Nobody else can get in. It's not deregulated at all. And you know, Cap Metro, Resource Recovery, all their governmental entities and departments like that. And then that's one fund. And then they have a $1.2 billion fund that's just their budget, their general budget. And they actually spend $500 million, 500 million or so, which I think is more than 500 million. They spend that on these police cars that don't even know how to park. They spend that on lawyers to get cops off for murder. They spend that on robots and drones and things to track and kill. Stingrays to illegally do wiretaps on your phone. You know, they spend that money on that kind of stuff, and that's why we can't have good things. Oh, look, it's one of my cop friends. Enemies. Trying to kill. Trying to hunt you down and kill you. What you doing? What you doing? I asked you first.
I'm getting ready to go to a call, and we're just writing a report, yeah.
Just hanging out?
Yeah, I guess. What are you doing?
Just on the clock?
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
What are you doing here?
Just watching you. Watching you text.
Is that okay? Did you go to the jury trial?
Just got back from there.
What did they say?
They said that you cops are a danger to the people, and your training and policy is to kill people. And that when they say target and eliminate and engage, that all is just code word for kill. So that there's a lot of code switching going on between like accountability and freedom and the Constitution and the law, and the ability for officers to, like Christopher Taylor, Kreitcha, Sanchez, to kill people.
That's what they said in the verdict?
There's no verdict yet.
Oh.
That's what the attorney said. Both of them basically said it in so many words. The DA said it pretty much clearly, said that that's just code word for kill. But the defense attorney pretty much said it in so many words. So did their witnesses. The training officers that came, even Robin Henderson said it's a good shoot. She supports cops that kill people. Do you support cops that kill people? Because they said that the defense attorney said that nobody hates a bad cop, wants to remove a bad cop worse than a good cop. So that's pretty much where I'm at, but I haven't really heard a lot of affirmative statements from guys dressed in black like yourself and uniforms like yourself. It just seems to be a lot of cover and a lot of thin blue line gang mentality. It doesn't seem to be anybody that's like a good cop that hates bad cops, which is how I was raised. Barney Miller and all that, Jump Street, like everything. Good cops are supposed to hate bad cops. If I keep coming across good cops that say that they're good, but they don't hate bad cops, they don't hold other officers accountable, then I think I'm looking at a bad cop, and I haven't found a good cop yet. How about you?
Have you ever encountered a good cop?
I'm talking to you. What do you think about cops that murder people? Does it make you mad? Doesn't upset you at all? You don't want them removed? You're good with it? So how many other bad cops do they have out in the force? Like, is there a percentage? I'm trying to figure out the percentage of good cops. You asked me if I can find a good cop. I haven't found one yet. So maybe it's a percentage thing.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
I like to know what percentage of cops are like terrorist bastards, and what percentage are real people that would like support the Constitution of the people like their oath said.
Julian, it was lovely to talk to you as always.
You're very lovely.
You have a good day.
You have a pretty mouth. Have a nice day. Get a haircut. So nothing but bad cops, as we said. What's your name? Brumlow? Okay. Isn't that like a tea? Isn't there a tea called Brumlow? A tea? Like a tea you drink? I think that's a brand. Could be wrong. You know what your IQ is? You get your IQ test on entry?
Did I get a test?
Yeah.
No.
I thought they have a requirement of a test. They didn't do a psych test on you either?
Why
Well,
did you decide enough to know 2 languages? That's something, right?
You know 2 languages? What languages do you know?
Well,
Oh, jawohl. That should come in handy in those circles. So hey, yeah. I mean, it's cool. I feel like they should have given you this test right here as a psychological evaluation. It's partially IQ, and I don't think you're getting a passing grade right now. We're looking for good cops that really respect the Constitution, the law, and the people, and that don't just make excuse for bad cops because they like their thin blue line toilet paper. You support the thin blue line? No matter what, no one can do any wrong as long as they're wearing a uniform. There is no law.
you know that's not right. You know,
I'm just seeing what you support.
what?
I'm just seeing I was asking what you support. It was a question.
Don't make personal statements in uniform, Julian.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh. There's a crazy psych nurse. Bye, psych
Good
nurse.
if we go to our call?
Huh?
Are you good if we go to our call now?
You want me to go with y'all?
No.
You want to arrest me?
Unless you put a sit in the back.
Huh?
So you have to go to a call. You good if we go to a call now?
You can't sit in my lap. You're too big. What's your problem?
Have a good day, Julian.
All right.
Nice talking to
You ladies have a good time.
Always.
All right. Put your seatbelt on, dumbass. So anyways, the psych nurse right there, she is a disgusting human being. She's from the jail here, and she is disgusting. She watches people get tortured, all that. You're not a psych nurse, you're a psych patient. I fucking hate you. Every time I go to jail, I watch you torture people. You're a piece of shit. And there's the defense attorneys that lied for the cops. These bad lawyers are pieces of shit too. You're eroding the law. You're making it unsafe for cops by supporting murdering shitbag cops. So I suggest everybody come and protest for redress of grievances because your government just said they want to kill you. They just said they trained all Austin police officers, all 2,000 whatever police officers, the ones that are coming out, hundreds that are coming out of the academy, to identify a threat, engage the threat, and kill the threat, which engage it means kill. And they've just admitted it for 2 weeks straight on another murder trial. Again, and again. And so I don't know what you guys need before you guys decide that you're gonna come protest and take action and, you know, sign up for gun classes. Everyone needs to be armed. The more guns we have out on the streets, the safer we're gonna be from gun-toting cops. It's a numbers game. There's 1 million of us, 2,000 of them, just in the city. You figure out the numbers. So there's a lot of work to be done, and I don't have a gun, so I'm probably not the one to say something. I'm not a good example, I mean, but if I have a gun, the cops already target me. They're gonna kill me. So that's what I talked to Kathy with the Texas Civil Rights Project. She said she won't own a gun. As a white lawyer, she won't own a gun because the cops in Austin will kill you. Yeah, that's a statement. That's something to say when the lawyers don't feel like they have their rights intact because there's a gang, an entity that's trying to kill them for their rights. That's a big statement. And the lawyers, like Dexter Dilford said, the lawyers and the DA, they're responsible for getting us to this stage, to where we're not safe, because they've been pandering to these cops and taking it easy on them and not doing affirmative, like they've been reactive and not proactive. They've totally let your rights go down the toilet, and some cop's gonna wipe his ass with your blood. Like, these cops standing over Rajan Moon Singh and saying that was good work after you murdered him, like, that's just disgusting, and that should tell you where we're at. It's not, these aren't isolated instances. This is how the gang behaves. This is how you're not going to vote your way out of this. This is going to be a lot. Oh, Booker T. Washington, nice. Anyway, so hey, what's up, little guy? So this guy marked safe from the police. You, however, are not marked safe. A lot of squirrels down here. A lot of squirrels. I see 5 right now, right near me. Anyways, we are not marked safe. We are not marked safe from our own government. And so that's what the framers of the Constitution, the writers of the Constitution, the signers of the Constitution, sometimes called the founders, I don't call them the founders, but that's what they said, is that they wanted you to be safe in your person and effects from the government. They wanted people to be safe because they came from an era of great oppression from countries all over Europe, and they wanted to create something better over here in America, or in whatever they call it, in this land. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, the police and their lawyers and the city council and Robin Henderson, they've all said it's legit. Cops want to kill you, they have a right to kill you. That's what they said. And guilty or innocent, it doesn't matter. These issues are unresolved. If the officer's found guilty, he's going to appeal it, and even if he doesn't win his appeal, he's just going to go somewhere else. He's going to become an ICE agent. There's a $10,000 sign-on bonus. He's going to go and kill minorities because these cops are racist. Even the brown cops are racist. Even the black cops are racist. Even the female cops are sexist and racist. There is no escape from white supremacy when you work for the Austin Police Department, because they have gang tattoos, they have lightning bolts, they have Nazi tattoos. They have been getting away with all this stuff for years and years, and there's no safety. Your flag is tied up and tattered, and you're not free. So you need to secure your freedoms, people. There's a lot of work to do. It's called a fight. If you're not fighting, you're not winning, because you're not going to win in a vote. This voting and incrementalism from like Chris Harris, AJC, Chaz Moore, all these losers, they're the ones that got us here. That's why we're here. It's because of that bullshit incrementalism. And there's look up Diary of a Bastard Cop, because all cops are bastard. Look up Diary of a Bastard Cop, and he tells you the incrementalists are fucking you over because the government, the lawyers, the system is turning its wheels every day. They're turning its wheels every day. Oh, I guess I shouldn't go. Oh, wait. Even though there's no cars coming. I'll wait. But every day they're spinning their wheels on how to oppress you, how to kill you, how to murder your family members, how to murder your children, how to murder your community, how to throw you in jail, kill you in jail, how to deprive people of their rights for their skin color, for their melanin, for the level of money they have on the bank, if they're a renter or not a renter, what kind of car they drive. Like, they're doing this gentrification, killing by the numbers, 1, 2, 3, and business is good for them. They're not lawyers. Everyone's just pleading people out, just getting rid of all the covering up for all these bad cops. That's just normal now. That's just been normalized. So they're selling off your properties, not making any room for homeless people or indigenous people, and they can't even fix their infrastructures. Infrastructure's just falling apart, tripping hazards everywhere, trees that are root bound, trees that are dying. They stuck all that crap into this tree. It looks like that foam crap. I mean, there's so much quality and truth that could be sought in Austin, and instead, hey puppy dog, instead we get bullshit. All we want is truth and justice. All we get is trolls. All we get is bullshit. Here's a little dog bed right there if anybody needs one. Small dog. It's really pretty. Look at all the pollinators. Look at all the pollinators. It's an interesting one. I want to say it's a coral vine of some sort. You can take seeds off this thing. Right here's a seed that will go home with me. And, you know, so the lawyers get paid, the cops get paid, everybody gets paid off, and at the end of the day, you and I are the ones that are gonna get the shaft. And I think there was a point that, you know, $20,000 paid by taxpayers for an inaccurate representation is a waste of money. I mean, is it necessary? I don't know. What do they need a reenactment? They got video. What do they need a reenactment for? Different point of view? I'm not sure, but it wasn't an accurate point of view, so it doesn't hold up. Anyhow, I want the moon singy. I'm not sure. I hear the media saying different things. I want their family to have justice. I do want their family to have justice. I want all families that have been harmed by the police, not just murdered, but like wrongly convicted, perjured. I've been through all that. I want myself to have justice, just as I want everybody to have justice. And we're tied together. The fact that I can't get any real justice hardly is showing that you're not going to get justice, because that's the system that we live in. We have a lot of work to do. We got to clean house with these judges too. Like every one of these fucking judges, I'm sorry, there's been some judges that are better than others. They all got to go because they're all part of the problem. They've all supported bad cops. All the way up the chain. They've all supported bad cops. The full Fifth Circuit's full of crappy judges that support cops. So they all got to go. You got to get them out of there. You know, I would be willing to say that these judges, if they did any official oppression, if they covered for bad cops, if they covered up murder, either a civil or criminal, they need to go to jail. I think some of these judges going to jail would send a clear message to other judges in the future. Politicians also. All these bad cops need to go to jail. And that's called accountability. Without accountability, there won't be peace. There won't be an end to this bloody massacre, fucking police brutality, police corruption. There's not going to be anything. The government corruption, judicial corruption and misconduct, judicial oppression, none of that's going to end through the normal channels of law. We're going to have to amp the law up. If you with ultimate power comes ultimate responsibility. If you have harmed people, if you have violated your oath, you need to be held accountable. The fact that this does not happen, especially in the South, especially in the Fifth Circuit where we are, that's a problem. And when it affects you, you'll be coming to us saying, hey, I heard you, now look at what happened to me. And it's too late. You need to listen now before something happens to you. Don't wait for something to happen. Don't wait for you to be unalived by bad cops because of training, policy, and lies, and the corrupt injustice system full of bad lawyers. Do something, man. You gotta do something, because your life is a short fuse when the cops come for you. Your gun is not gonna help you. You're gonna need a lot more than one gun. Now Tupac, I think he killed 3 cops because they broke in his place with weapons that they stole from evidence. They were breaking the law, so he got away with that. That may be just a rumor, or an urban legend, but I believe it's true. I've heard it enough. Smell food. The Public Square Park's got something going on over here. But you know, for most of us, we're not going to be able to defend ourselves. We're going to have to get on this. You're going to have like a protection plan for your neighborhood. There's food here. Generators, truck rentals, coolers full of stuff, gas can. Panda, 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 panda. Panda, 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 panda. Bud Light. Got an ice machine here. Hooked up. Anybody need any ice? Let's see what's going on here. I don't know what's going on. They eating panda in here? 'Cause I haven't eaten except for one grapefruit today, so I'm feeling some panda. Nah, it smells good, whatever they're cooking. I wouldn't eat a panda. I wouldn't eat any endangered species. Only rich people do that. The people well over all these other people I was talking about are the elites running this show. The Elon Musk of the world, the Zuckerbergs, all of them. They're all running this shit show. General admission. That's a panda. Oh, run over this thing's falling on me. Oh my God. Yeah, general admission. This thing's like a hazard. Sure, we got bags of junk here. There's enough chargers there to start a fire for their walkie-talkies. Oh, what's going on here? Looks like an Asian American event. All I know is the homeless, the citizens got kicked out of this. You have to pay to get in here. This is a public park that Downtown Austin Alliance, also known as Block by Block nationally, does gentrification, anti-homeless operations that would be illegal for the government to do. And they take private donations from businesses to go after poor people. So people with money paying to round up poor people. And that's what Austin Alliance does. And they own part of this park. And that's what's going on. Ooh, I can get up here. Taco sushi. I would say it's Asian American fusion. But they've taken over this park. There is no getting into this park without paying now. Even though your taxes paid for this park, Downtown Austin Alliance is trying to gentrify people out of this place. They're okay with Asians and whites, but they're not going to have a black or brown or indigenous group here. That's not what they do. Panda, 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 panda. Anyways, I probably have to get back on my court case. Court cases. I got multiple cases. And I gotta work them.
What kind of sauce? Merch, right? Sure. I'll give you this badge for all 3 days in and out.
So as you see, Lizzardo Giganticus is man of the streets. I do street interview stuff. I do police accountability. I do street actions, mutual aid, documentation, just a bunch of stuff. A ton of stuff. And the money, follow the money. That's what I'm saying, follow the money. This rental fence costs thousands of dollars. Could have paid someone's rent. But hey, they wanted to keep people that don't have rent out. That's pretty sick, the way they do it. Anyways, I'll check with y'all later. Justice for Rajan and his family.